Timberwolves versus Thunder, the Superstars Dilemma. How will Anthony Edwards respond? As the Minnesota Timberwolves struggle against the Oklahoma City Thunder in a pivotal series, all eyes are on Anthony Edwards. The young star, often touted as the next big thing in the NBA, finds himself in the uncomfortable position of being the focal point of his team's offense. But with every game revealing the dilemma that comes with stardom. How much responsibility can one player shoulder before the weight of it all becomes too much? In a season that's been a whirlwind of highs and lows, Edwards has found himself in a peculiar predicament. In 5 separate games this season, he's played over 35 minutes and attempted just 13 or fewer shots. Out of those games, Minnesota managed to win only once, when Edwards was battling illness. In another, Edwards found himself so enraged by the officiating that he was fined $50,000 after flipping off the referees on multiple occasions. However, the most telling games have come against none other than the Oklahoma City Thunder. Take, for example, their New Year's Eve matchup. Edwards, in what was his least aggressive outing of the season, took just 12 shots, a number that barely scratches the surface for a player of his talent. It wasn't just a bad game for Edwards. The Timberwolves fell 113-105 to the Thunder, and Edwards committed more turnovers, 3, than assists, 2. In the aftermath, Timberwolves head coach Chris Finch accused the Thunder of foul play, saying Oklahoma City's defense was overly physical, using their hands in every nook and cranny to disrupt Minnesota's offense. "They're super physical," Finch remarked, pointing to the Thunder's league-leading defensive rating. "They foul you everywhere, every time down, and we have to be able to fight through that and play through it." But was Finch merely grasping for an explanation, or had Oklahoma City just found the blueprint to beat the Timberwolves? The Thunder had exposed Minnesota's weaknesses in a glaring way, and the Timberwolves could not find their footing. The formula for success against Minnesota seems simple yet effective. A swarming defense that doubles Edwards at every opportunity. When the Thunder effectively neutralized Edwards, the ball was forced out of his hands, often leading to turnovers and easy points in transition. After all, if you limit Minnesota's best player, who else will step up? It was a harsh reminder that superstars can only go so far if their supporting cast doesn't meet the challenge. In the Timberwolves' losses, most notably Game 1 and Game 4, Edwards was limited to just 13 shots in each contest. And in those same games, Minnesota committed 42 turnovers and allowed 53 points off of those mistakes. That's a recipe for disaster, even for a team with star power like Edwards. Oklahoma City's defense, led by the likes of Lou Dort, Cason Wallace, Alex Caruso, and the ever-dangerous Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, exploited every mistake and punished the Timberwolves for their errors. It's a fair point. Edwards made the right reads, created opportunities, but when it came time for his supporting cast to step up, they couldn't. This is where the paradox of superstar status comes into play. Edwards is expected to score, but he's also expected to make everyone else better. If the ball isn't going through the hoop, it's easy to point to him. But if the system fails around him, that's a team problem, not just an individual one. To help himself, Edwards needs to play faster, challenge the defense before it's set, and keep moving. The Timberwolves must ensure the ball returns to Edwards' hands when possible and make sure their system complements his play style. But perhaps most critically, Edwards needs to rediscover his shot. His 27% shooting on pull-up threes and 29% shooting on mid-range attempts this postseason is far below what he's capable of. However, it's not all doom and gloom. Edwards has been efficient at the rim against OKC, but the Thunder's shot-blocking presence, particularly from Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren, creates another obstacle. Still, this is the lesson Edwards must learn: how to attack the best defense in the league how to survive under the microscope of the NBA playoffs, and how to trust in his process when the going gets tough. In the end, Minnesota's playoff hopes may not survive this series, but that doesn't mean Edwards isn't the future of this team. He's learning, evolving, and if given the right help, he might one day follow in the footsteps of legends who once found themselves in similar positions. For now, though, it's clear. Edwards is the man. He just needs a little more seasoning and maybe a little more support.